Because they answer a need for us that's got nothing to do with political ideology or your views on policy issues, but everything to do with women and the particular challenges that we face going into public life. It's, I think, very hard for us in every instance to put ourselves in the shoes of others, but particularly hard, I think, for men to understand the impact on the life of a woman when you grow up not seeing women in positions of power where they belong. It is a lifetime of not being able to see yourself reflected in politics, in the law, in corporate life, in non-profits, everywhere you turn. And the impact of that on women psychologically is just so powerful and so profound, especially during those years where you're really building your idea about who you are and what you're capable of. And I think about, myself as a little girl. I probably present as very confident now about my views and the fact that I'm entitled to have an opinion and to exercise the power I have as a citizen. But I didn't start out that way. I was a very shy child. And I was one of those people who I think had good leadership capacity, but I would never have elbowed anyone out of the way to get to that position of being the boss. It wasn't who I was, and it wasn't who I was conditioned to be. But when you're running for public office, you do need to develop a healthy degree of that. It requires women to do something I think is incredibly difficult, and that is say, I'm the one. I am the one that has the answer to these problems, that can negotiate and deliver something and deliver big change for people. And that is just really, really tough thing for women to do. We are not rewarded for that behaviour in our childhood. And so Pathways to Politics is so important for that reason. It gives women this really meaningful opportunity to actually just sit with this idea that maybe they are the one and maybe they do have the power to make a big difference. And I think that's really where its power comes from. I'll just share one just very quick anecdote. I spend a lot of time with young Labor kids in the Labor Party. That's how I came up through the Labor Party. And when I sit down with them, most of the men who I meet, the young men, they have their plan to be Prime Minister all mapped out. They've got it all sorted, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. The women I meet never have that. That's not why they're there. They're there for the reason that I got involved in politics, which is I love my country, I care passionately about it, and I want to make it better. It's not about me or my ambition, it's about trying to make a difference. And so that's just the way the way we come into this. And I do think women need that extra bit of kick and a bit of help to say, I actually want to be a leading participant in this, and Pathways to Politics gives us that chance.